Spears, taken into custody on suspicion of driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs.
When she gets out in public and starts acting in a dangerous fashion, that's when the authorities step in, and that's really when her family should step up and make sure that her safety is maintained.
New details shedding light on the mental health challenges accused killer Nick Reiner faced in the years leading up to the deaths of his parents Rob and Michelle Reiner.
In order to win and not be determined guilty of murder, he has to show that he suffers from a severe mental illness, and at the time of the act, he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know wrong from right.
The King of Pop's only daughter waging war against the handlers of her father's multi-billion-dollar estate.
The estate is required to file a yearly accounting explaining where the money is invested, how they've invested it, and what they've spent money on.
After serving 10 months behind bars, she's now fighting for custody.
I'm not optimistic that she's going to win this case. Sherry Papini has not shown that there's been any change in circumstances, that the children need to see more of her, or that she's changed at all. The reason for having an NDA in the first place is to keep sensitive information completely private. It's extremely rare for family members to be asked to sign an NDA about a deceased family member.
Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. After months of speculation, the pair are calling it quits.
If in fact Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck don't have a prenuptial agreement, they've just created a lot of trouble for themselves. They're going to need attorneys, they're going to need accountants to comb through all the financial records, and even though it's only 2 years, they've each made a significant amount of money in these last 2 years.
Let's bring in Hollywood divorce attorney David Glass for more on this. David, Washington is a community property state, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Melinda Gates gets half of all this, right?
Gates had already created Microsoft and was their largest shareholder. It's pretty clear that they're both going to have more than enough money to survive on. I mean, this case started in 2019 when Zaki Rahimi, a convicted drug dealer in Texas, assaulted his girlfriend and threatened to shoot her if she told anyone.
By slapping the doctor across the face in full view of his colleagues.
This person was bringing up his grievances in a completely inappropriate form and also in a completely inappropriate way.
I need former psychologist David Glass for more on this. Thank you both for coming on. Legally, how does that work, and why would that be necessary if it is?
Well, frankly, the story doesn't make a lot of sense.
Trial of Lori Vallow ready to get underway tomorrow. The Idaho woman is accused of killing her 2 youngest children.
What we can expect to see, at least from the defense, is some sort of effort to make Lori Vallow Daybell look like she's insane.
She noticed her 12 and 13-year-old sons became obsessed almost instantly. The World Health Organization has categorized video game addiction as a mental health disorder.
People filing it would have to convince the court not to go with the DSM.
Our board chair of Alzheimer's Association's Southern California chapter, David J. Glass. Why does Alzheimer's awareness matter?
It matters because our population is aging. By the time you get to your 80s, 1 in 3 people are dealing with Alzheimer's or dementia.
We start this half hour with the legal battle between Johnny Depp and ex-wife Amber Heard.
It's a very tough decision for the court to make on this motion.
Johnny Depp won all 3 counts of his case.
It's an extremely surprising and a strange verdict.
Thank you so much.
Neither party has really made their case.
Which side to believe with millions at stake?
The hardest part is showing that the person who the statement was made about was damaged financially.
Kate Moss expected to testify.
They wanted to bring Kate Moss to testify that no abuse occurred in her relationship with Johnny Depp.
What do you think is ahead? And I mean, we're hearing that Depp could be called back to the stand.
Why didn't Amber Heard leave Johnny Depp the first time he was abusive to her? Why did she stick around? Why was she part of this potentially mutually abusive relationship?
Adult adoption is when an older adult adopts a younger person to be their child.
You have the right to create your own family, to choose your own parents and your own children, even if it wasn't done naturally or wasn't done genetically.
What will it mean for Britney if the court allows her to hire her own attorney?
For whatever reason, Britney feels that she hasn't been able to get along with her court-appointed attorney. They lose a ton of money spending it on alcoholic drugs. Once they start losing something, that's when it's right for you to move in and say, now is the time for you to get into some treatment. Restraining orders ultimately are still just a piece of paper with prohibitions.